talking about the election and everything about that. So who would you guys like vote for, Kamala or Trump?
I would personally. Actually, I'd let it pass to Delilah first before I answer that myself.
Oh, we have a feminist here. I probably would vote third party.
Okay. So you're lying, but that's fine.
No, my whole family votes third party.
Third
Other than my mom.
What party does your family vote for?
I don't know what's the third one.
Alright.
Oh, other than the country people.
I would vote for. Can I see it? Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Yeah, that's my personal opinion, but I respect other people's voting positions and their right to vote. So, just like how I expect others to respect mine. So.
Yeah.
That up.
Me personally, I would have voted for Trump always. Okay, so do you think presidential debates are helpful?
Yeah, I'd say so. They help give out a general view and a general idea of what a candidate is for. And I believe that they shouldn't even be just presidential, even just for presidents. They should be allowed for even governors or even more local positions. So that's just my opinion, but.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Mark over here. I think they're pretty helpful, other than when they're not actually going over important things like golfing, for instance. But yeah.
Okay. It's very interesting. I think I agree with you guys on that. But how did you guys feel about this presidential election? I mean, neither of you got the person you wanted in office, clearly. So how do you feel?
I mean, although I'm not overjoyed by Trump's victory, I'm not sad or angry about it either. It's just a democratic process. I mean,
Yeah, I agree. There's no point of being a sore loser, so it's just what happened. It's whatever. Praise to a party.
Oh, yes. How did your family members feel?
Oh.
How did your mom feel?
Oh, she really liked it.
Oh.
She cried for so long.
Oh, really?
But so she's really happy over the victory.
So it's she's emotionally attached to Trump.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How did your family feel?
my mom was the same. My mom was kind of the same as your mom. My dad isn't really involved in politics, shockingly enough. I don't understand why, but the rest of my family is kind of apathetic as well, which bothers me personally, but I'm not gonna go on the vendetta against them. So.
Yeah. Okay. What are some reasons that people should vote in elections?
Because they got their voices heard.
Yeah, many people fought for the right to vote, so, I mean, it's not like you're wasting your right, but it's important to how the country works.
Smart. Okay. Did you consider yourself more or less invested than your peers in this election?
Probably less. I can't vote, so I don't really care, but maybe that's a bad viewpoint.
But you just said it's important to vote.
Yeah, so when I will vote, then I will look into it and be more into it, but as of right now, I'm 16 and can't, so there's no point of being upset or I don't know, arguing.
For me, I would say I'm actually more invested, especially in the whole ideological side of things, kind of. So.
How did you feel about people wearing Trump 1 shirts to school the day after?
Did they?
Yes.
I didn't even notice.
I'm shocked how they got them off the shelf so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of like when Braidwood won, won one game last year or something, and then they...
Am I insane? You're
yes.
How did you get this?
Okay. How could the voting process be improved, if you even know how the voting process is?
I think it should require a degree.
I would say that like there should definitely be like corruption and anti-phishing measures for sure, and to make sure that like each vote is like authenticated as like it's not like duplicate votes or anything. So like, each election should be like free and fair, and also there should be some changes, especially on like the whole local level. Maybe there should even be like an electoral college for states. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, within states. So.
I feel like they should have more police there, especially if people are like going there and like trying to like burn ballots, or like they have an axe. I heard about that. Someone had an axe at the voting ballots and were like threatening people.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Do you think voting should be mandatory?
No, I mean it's a right, and I feel like if it's mandatory, then it's like freedom, you know.
I mean, honestly, my dream system will be like voting is mandatory and like everyone have to vote for a candidate. Like, so there's not even like a no voting type of situation, but like everyone would have to vote for some sort of candidate. So we could just have like everyone voting, and also we don't really need to do the census. I mean, for me, I wouldn't like try and like enforce that in reality because enforcing laws always gets iffy. So.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about like people wasting their write-in votes? Because I saw a lot of people posting their write-in votes, and it was like random people like rappers and stuff. And how do you guys feel about that?
I don't know. I don't really think it matters. It, like, if I didn't want to vote for one, at least it like lessened the percentage, you know. I don't know. I mean, obviously they weren't gonna win, so.
Yeah, I mean like what Delilah said, except like I really liked how like people put like Playboy Cardi. I think
Yes.
Playboy Cardi got like 300 votes. So hey, that's more than one. So that's a win.
Do you think Playboy Cardi should be president?
Maybe. I plead the fifth.
Okay. Do you think 18 should be the right age to vote, or, you know, it should be like 20 or something?
I think 18 is a good age.
I feel fine with like 18. I mean, like, although I do have like some concerns over like 16 and 17-year-olds like being taxed but not having the right to vote, like taxation without representation. I mean, like 18 is like young enough where like practically everyone still has their voice, while it's not like too young or too old or anything.
I agree. Even though when you're 18 you can vote, but you can't like drink alcohol or buy
like buy a
cigarettes
car.
or anything. Yeah, kind of weird. What do you think would make politics less divisive for the country? Delilah?
I'm confused on the words, to be so honest.
Okay. Mark, do you want to answer first then?
I mean, I feel like having like a lot of like different political parties instead of just like two would help. Like a lot of different political parties that definitely have their own voice, as opposed to just like D or R and like having like firm like sides that you guys would pick.
Yeah.
Also maybe like maybe like making like the Senate and like the House of Representatives like more influential rather than like just the presidency per se.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Mark on like having more parties to vote from. Also, like I feel like why it's so dividing is because people like to heavily like align themselves or like identify with one part instead of looking at like the better candidates, which is why people get so personal with it when it's not personal at all.
Yeah. Going off that, like, since you said that, we do have three parties, I mean, but I feel like the Democrats and Republicans definitely get like more media attention.
Yeah.
So like, do you feel like the third party should like maybe go out and like influence more on social media?
Yeah, I feel like it's also definitely like this cycle of like nobody really knows about them, so they don't get any votes. So nobody really knows about them, so they don't get any votes, etc. etc. Maybe there even should be like an act to like platform third parties and like to allow more parties to be created without like the hassle and circle that it is. But
Yeah.
sadly, we all know that will never be created, at least in this situation.
Cats for President 28.
Yes.
If you guys were to like align yourself with one party or the other, what would you say you were? Or would you like make up your own party?
I'd say my probably views align more with Democratic.
Same here. I'll be at like I feel like I'm an even mix between like Libertarian Party and Democrat Party. So.
Yeah.
Do you feel like people take it way too far with certain parties?
Oh,
like
yes.
Conservatives maybe, or like liberals?
Yeah.
According to research, over 90 million people didn't vote in the latest presidential election. How do you think the U.S. could get higher voter turnout?
Mandatory voting, for one.
Yeah. Maybe better presidential candidates.
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
Legalizing bullying people if they don't vote, maybe?
Yeah.
That could be a viable option.
Spam mail
Yeah.
could help.
Yeah.
I think like just more social media outlook would be good to get people like higher voter turnout, because I feel like a lot of people that didn't vote are younger
Yeah.
and they just like don't care. What do you think would make young people more interested in voting and involved in civic life?
You just said it. I would feel like social media, and also just like kind of just making it more like allowing young people to get like better voices in politics, not even like voting, but in like actual political candidacies and like positions, rather than just like having elderly people voting against elderly people, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Understand.
same. Like with it being more on social media so they can see it more, but also I feel like younger people would be more interested if younger people were also in presidential positions.
Yeah.
Like I feel like having someone that's 80 makes younger people be like, oh well, they're 80.
Yeah, and also like much more alienated.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if we had like a 36-year-old and like a 42-year-old, a lot more people would be, you know.
Yeah, because it's not like 20 million generations away.
Yeah. It's not like an entire world of difference.
Yeah.
If you were running for president, what would make your key issues during your campaign? What would you want to work on?
Well, probably like, you know, things like inflation, you know, that's a big thing in America right now. Probably just making it easier for people to survive, you know, get food, all the essentials, because a lot of Americans struggle with just getting basic needs.
I feel like on that note, like definitely like expanding, definitely like the economy, and also like more things more things that would help us in the long run, such as like improving education, like nationwide, federally, rather than like just in like a couple of states, and also like improving like general welfare, and also just making America a better place.
Yeah.
Since you said that, Mark, how do you feel about Trump trying to dismantle the Department of Education and like taking away FAFSA and everything?
That is probably like that is probably like one of the two things I don't like most about what Trump is trying to do. The second one is probably three. I mean, like second is like the tariffs, because they'll only raise prices, and the third is dismantling the FDA, because I mean the FDA is already very lax as of right now, so I feel like having no restrictions whatsoever would only cause like severe issues.
Yeah.
Definitely. Do you feel that same way?
Yeah.
Yeah. And since he's taking away FAFSA, like how is that gonna help so many college students that can barely pay to get food and everything, and their parents are like working 3 jobs, you know?
I think it's definitely going to lower the amount of people that go to college, which is kind of like might become an issue because there's already a low percent that do end up going to college. I think. I know a lot of people will go to military or trades, and I don't know, taking away something like FAFSA is not going to help people go into college, so.
Yeah. And since you said the tariffs is something you don't like about Trump, and like he's trying to raise, that's basically gonna raise everything.
Yeah, it's gonna raise everything from overseas.
Yeah, like, and people are always talking about inflation and like how much everything is
And I can only,
right now.
yeah, and I can only see tariffs skyrocketing inflation.
Yeah. And since like people that voted for Trump mainly voted for the economy, that's what I saw. But we are on Trump's tax plan right now.
Yeah.
It's a very
So I
odd
feel like
situation of that
he
sounds.
won't help the economy as much as we think.
Yeah.
I think Trump definitely worded his plan to make stupid people want to vote for him. No offense. Because he said everything that he was going to do, and people were like, yes! And it's like, he's going to make you broke.
Yeah, I feel like he's just very influential.
Yes.
He's very good with his words for certain people.
Yeah. He did have all those family businesses. You gotta talk to someone about it.
Yeah. His McDonald's
Oh,
like campaign.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Also, I mean, like, I mean, he's a businessman. Of course, he's going to be good with words. You know, I mean, like a world-class businessman. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly. I feel like he definitely has that like cutting edge over a lot of politicians, where like a lot of like career politicians are like more involved in like the nitty-gritty tax cuts and all that. Well, he can just talk to the people as is. So.
Definitely. Okay. Do you think citizens should be able to vote online?
No.
No?
I feel like that would only enhance the amount of, like, I don't know how to say it, like cheating that there is.
Like vote hijacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say no as well. Honestly, I like on like election day, like when you have nothing else to do or like very little to do or something, like driving to the polls and like going there and voting. Because honestly, I feel like it's just like a nice experience just to get out of the house and just do this unique experience in like a different place other than like your house.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like help when like if you live in like an area with like other people who might like influence your voting strategies, your voting decisions, especially in ways that you don't really want to vote in.
Yeah. I feel like if more people voted online, especially younger people that live with their parents, they definitely try to influence them to vote in a certain way.
Yeah, I could definitely imagine my mom looking over my shoulder, being like,
Who are you gonna vote for?
best hit that red button.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
But I feel like also, even though we have mail-in ballots, I feel like sometimes people just don't have time to go.
Yeah.
So like it'd be better for some people to vote online. But the thing with like, oh, have you guys heard about like how Elon Musk knew who was gonna win like 4 hours before
Yeah.
the election? How do you guys feel about that? I thought it weird.
Very suspicious, I would say.
Yeah, like, okay.
Yeah.
And also on that note, I feel like just accepting, like just kind of like allowing mail-in ballots to be more accessible without like having to especially say, hey, I want mail-in ballot would be very beneficial in order to like reduce that like whole feeling of I don't have enough time to go, because instead of having to even go to physical location, you could just fill out some blanks and send it in.
Yeah.
Boom.
Definitely. Do you guys think everyone should be able to vote? Even like felons?
No.
No?
No.
For me, I think all citizens should be allowed to vote. Like even
Immigrants?
immigrant citizens.
Like illegal
Yeah, I wouldn't say so, but like if like you're a citizen, I believe you should be allowed to vote.
See, like, crazy concept, like, just because, like, I don't want a felon running the country, sorry, I wouldn't want someone with those same moral values voting to elect a felon to run the country. Not that would ever happen, of course, but
I definitely understand. Yeah.
And
How do you guys feel about Trump having 34 felonies?
I feel really secure.
Okay.
Same here.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely not concerning to me.
Yeah, no, like, I saw that and I was like, I got to vote for him.
Yeah. Very appealing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually, protest for him to have 3 3 terms in office.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm actually gonna try and like rescind my like projectory vote for like, even though I didn't vote, I projected my vote out into the open, so I'm gonna try and like change it to Republican because I'm not trying to vote for.
How do you guys feel about Trump saying that he isn't very involved with Project 2025, even though a lot of his staff are?
I feel like he might be lying, guys.
Yeah, I feel like he might be lying too.
Well,
But that's just a theory.
I know this is like a little bit like a heavy subject, but how do you guys like feel about him trying to ban abortions like federally?
Well, I never plan, as a woman, I never plan on getting an abortion, but I think it's still nice to have as like a fallback plan, just in case anything unwanted happens. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
As a man who has interacted with many women, I don't really know how to say that less awkwardly. I definitely support women's rights, and that definitely includes like access to abortion, just like how men can like get like vasectomies and like get condoms. I believe women should be allowed to get like Plan B and abortion. So
Definitely. I feel like as a woman, I did not plan on having an abortion, and I have not. But a person close to me was raped before, and she had to have one. So I feel like I would never want that to happen to her again. But if it did happen to someone close to me again, I'd want them to be able to have an abortion. Or like that woman in Texas who died because her unborn child was still in her stomach and they couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. There's also a lot of dangerous things that happen that I don't think people realize an abortion is needed for. Like when the fetus is growing in the fallopian tubes, that can kill the mother and the fetus. So
ectopic pregnancy, that actually runs in my family. It's like a lot more common. So I think my great-grandma's sister, no, 3 of my great-grandma's sisters died from it.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there can be things like that, and there could be things where like the baby dies and is rotting in the womb and needs an abortion to take it out, and that would just harm the mother. Could go into, I think it's called like, it's the thing where the body's fighting off multiple viruses, like
Like sepsis?
yeah,
Sepsis.
yeah, that.
So, how much do you think the outcome of the 2024 election will affect you and your family's lives?
Well, my family is mainly women, so that's of course that will be one thing that affects it. But I get that the fact that the vote wasn't just about the rights. I get a lot of people say that, but also my family's middle class, which is not going to do too great with the tariffs.
Yeah.
So I feel like it will poorly affect.
Well, Delilah, since you're religious, you're Jewish, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about how Trump speaks sometimes?
It's very. I think running the country based off a religion is dumb. I think it should not happen, especially since we separate church and state. I think the fact that him being a Catholic, I believe Catholic man, was a main part of his presidential speeches. I feel like that was, I don't know, I feel like religion isn't something that should affect the outcome, and I feel like, I know that Trump says he respects other religions, but I feel like he'd be definitely someone trying to make Christianity a main thing.
Yes.
How do you feel about that, Mark, since you are Catholic?
I mean, although I'm Catholic, I definitely come from diaspora, so ethnic minorities. So and not anywhere from Europe, or not anywhere from Europe. I'm talking about non-European, visible minority type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I have family members, at least least a quarter, I'm not good at mental math, but at least a quarter who are non-citizen immigrants.
Yeah.
So I mean, knowing that like there's been rhetoric of kicking out all immigrants from this country and also trying to in effect subjugate ethnic minorities, it definitely affects me, to be honest, personally, because I know that's gonna affect me and especially some of these family members who I hold so dearly. So
Yeah.
Definitely. And like him trying to take away their citizenship if they came here illegally before and then got their citizenship, I feel it's not the best thing for people.
Yeah. Very worrying.
yeah.
But Mark, how do you think the outcome of the 2024 election has affected you and your family?
So far, surprisingly not that much, but I definitely wonder and worry about how it's gonna be once the victor comes into power. So
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, since like some of my family are like white and then like fully black, it's like very different. Like it's not gonna, like my white family members aren't gonna be that affected by it. They don't really care. They did vote for Trump, but my black family members aren't very excited about it since we've heard like on the news and everything, like a lot of like racist stuff has been happening to minorities since he has been elected, especially with like I saw text messages going to like college kids
Yeah.
about like the plantation stuff. Not very cool,
Yeah.
if you ask me. If you voted for him, that is great. I mean, it's your opinion, but it doesn't give you an excuse to hate on anyone else.
and be cruel
Yeah.
to others.
Definitely.
Like, I feel like a lot of, like how back in the day, I feel like votes were very, not secretive, but people weren't like outright being like, oh, go, I don't know, like, President Abe, you know? Like, it was very like you vote and then you go home and then everything's normal. Your whole life isn't about one candidate, which I feel like, especially with Republicans, not that there's anything wrong with it, but they make wanting to have Donald Trump as a president and getting Donald Trump as a president like a big part of their personality and their lives. Yeah.
And also, I feel like ever since like 2016, like that, like I remember like hearing like when I was a young kid, this could have been like just because I was a young kid and I was like naive about the world. I mean, like I remember beforehand, like 2012 election, like 2012 election, like I wasn't really that stressed. Like I can't even remember anything. Apparently, it was like Obama versus someone else,
Yeah, I don't even
like Dick
remember
Cheney or
that.
something. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I mean, like ever since 2016, it's like everything is about the presidential election. Like the campaign starts way like years, literal 2 years before
Yeah.
before the actual election. People keep talking about the election for like years onward to the point, and I just wondered like, is this just like a fad, or is this just like the beginning of like a trend? And that kind of like worries me as well.
Yeah.
I definitely agree, especially since like a lot of people have been like repping the person, like Trump, they've been like, oh, he'll be back again like 2024, and then like
Yeah.
other people are like just repping like Harrison Waltz, like especially on social media, like
Yeah.
it's very shown like who you voted for, and I don't think it's a bad thing to
Yeah.
say who you voted for most of the time, but if it's like to say something hateful about the other party, it's not okay.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. But thank you for watching.